Hello Aries, this is Ashley and this reading is going to be for September 2021. It's actually going to cover the last few days of August, I believe starting on the 29th of August. We have a few days there kind of trailing into the end of the month that I wanted to cover as well. But today's reading is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to do a 9-card spread, but we're going to look at a strength for the month of September, a challenge, and then the outcome. And so really, this will all be future focused. Now, if cards that kind of point to a past situation come through, I will certainly discuss those. We'll do the 9-card spread, then we'll do some clarifiers to help us get us some more details. So let's go ahead and get started. Now this will be a general reading, so we'll just see what comes through, whether it's love, career, could be creative project focused. We'll just kind of see what comes through. Now something to keep in mind for September as I'm doing these readings is that we do have a big Mercury retrograde that comes in on the 27th of September and goes through until the 18th of October. And so there'll be a Mercury retrograde that is impacting this month. So let's go ahead and get started. And as I go through each row, I will certainly hold the cards up and show them to you. So we're getting the Moon, the Two of Swords, and the Knight of Cups, the Hierophant, the High Priestess, and the Eight of Wands. Sorry, I saged and now I have little burnt bits all over my table here. The Five of Cups, the Hanged Man, and Justice. And at the bottom of the deck we have the Emperor. So we'll see how that comes into play for your reading. Alright, so in the past, not the past position. So this is all future focused. So the first row here is going to be your strength of the month. And it's interesting because your strength is this fork in the road card, Oracle. So essentially your strength is that you have a choice to make kind of coming into the month of September. Now, if you have any sort of animal totems that you pay attention to, we do have a monkey, an owl, and a llama coming through on this card. So it is kind of interesting that your strength for the month is that you have a choice about something. We have the Moon, the Hierophant, and the Five of Cups. Now, just in general looking at this, we also have Justice coming through and the Knight of Cups. So part of what I'm seeing is that there might be a choice when it comes to some sort of relationship commitment. It does not have to be a love relationship. This could be a work commitment. Perhaps you're deciding whether or not to leave a position and begin a new position in the field of your career, or even a new career field. So let's just get some details on this strength that's coming through for you, Aries. So for the moon, we have the King of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. For the Hierophant, we're getting the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Swords. And for the Five of Cups, we're getting, let me scooch over here, the Hermit and the Knight of Wands. Interesting. So, real quick, this Oracle card, this Fork in the Road card, talks about, having a choice between taking a well-worn path, so doing something that many others have done before, and then the other option being something that maybe hasn't been explored before by other people, or at least other people that you know. But I think the positive thing about this particular card when it comes to your strength position is that it talks about how there's not really a wrong path. And so with the thought that no matter what road you choose, you will be encountering, positive challenges and learning opportunities as you go. And so what's interesting with this fork in the road is that we have a King of Pentacles and a King of Swords. So we certainly have a choice here. With the Moon, the King of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands, it could be that you are dealing with a Cancer, a Pisces. It can also be a Taurus or a fire sign. But when it comes to this King of Pentacles, I feel like this particular person, it's either that you don't know who this person is yet. So this could certainly be a boss. This could be an option for, someone that you might report to in the future. This could also be a love interest. But with the Moon here, it's almost like it's under wraps. And even if you know about it, I don't think it's quite public yet. But with this Six of Wands here, this is public recognition. And so I kind of have a feeling here that whoever this person is wants to come out of, hiding, so to speak. So like if, for instance, you have a new love relationship, this would be someone who wants to, flaunt your relationship to the world. But it looks like at this time, it is maybe kind of hidden from others. With the Hierophant here, we have the King of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. Now, this could also be leadership material with this King of Swords. Someone who's very wise. With this Hierophant here, it could be an older person. It doesn't have to be, but someone with a lot of wisdom, a lot of learning that they've had under their belt here. But you do have this lovely Ace of Pentacles that this King of Swords is bringing in. And so you could be trying to decide on an offer that's coming in here. So this could either be love or career so far. Now we do have the Five of Cups coming in with the Hermit and the King of Wands. And so I do feel like one of the strengths that you are seeing this month is that you have come out of something in the past that has led to, you know, some pain, some regret. You could have been dealing with a person that was, you know, kind of like a flash in the pan kind of energy is what I'm getting. Not necessarily that they were like a player, which can often be what this Knight of Wands is. It's like high passion and then they're in and out kind of energy. But I think what I'm kind of getting here is that there was something in the past that, you know, some sort of loss that led to some kind of regret. But what's kind of cool, if you look at this depiction of the Five of Cups, she's got like 3 buttercup flowers that have fallen in the water, and she's kind of, she's paying attention to those. But then we have these 2 still on the stem that she's not paying attention to. And I feel like these 2 blooms or cups is these 2 options here. And so it's like something about what you've experienced in the past has brought you a lot of wisdom with that Hermit. And I think that that is why this is a strength for you, because I think whatever you've learned in the past is going to help you make this choice. And from what I can tell, both choices are going to be positive, which again plays into that fork in the road where there's no wrong choice. Because you either have this King of Pentacles, a very stable, reliable, abundant option here, or you have this wise King of Swords with also a solid offer. And so whatever is going on in September, you have 2 really positive choices. So we'll kind of see how that plays out in your challenge position. So the challenge here is the staff. So you can kind of see it's like a wooden staff, and it's decorated with like a skull on top and some feathers. And so whenever I see this card, it kind of reminds me of like the staff that the Hermit holds, like a walking stick. And what this talks about when it comes to the challenge is going to be finding the middle ground between action and non-action, reflection and making a choice, making a move. And so there could be kind of like some starts and stops that happen this month that kind of keep you on your toes as far as perhaps making this decision. You might find that for a week you work really hard and then you run out of gas, and so you have to take a few days off. And with September being Virgo season, that's not surprising to me. We can get really focused and diligent during Virgo season, like knocking out that to-do list. But if we don't take the time to, you know, kind of have self-care and relax, we can get a little bit worn out. So we have the Two of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Hanged Man. Definitely could be dealing with a Pisces. We have a lot of that coming through here. But kind of what I'm seeing with this Two of Swords, I think your challenge is kind of more of like this mental uncertainty of which choice to make. Because the Two of Swords, you can see in this depiction, her eyes are covered, but she has, you know, 2 birds here on this little birdhouse that's sitting atop her head. And it's like she's, the way she's dressed, it's like she's blending into the environment. So it's almost like being faced with a choice and not knowing what decision to make, and so you almost try to avoid making the decision. And with this High Priestess being your center card, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that maybe you're not aware of. But I also feel like one of the positives is your intuition here is going to play a big role in the month of September. Now you may find that it is challenging to tap into that intuition because of all the activity of the month. So like I was saying, masculine, feminine energy, it could be a little harder to tap into that feminine energy because you're so active. And then we do have the Hanged Man. So there's like this tendency to just get stuck because we can't make a choice, and so then we're kind of indecisive, and so we get stuck. So let's get a little bit more detail on what, maybe we can see a little bit more about what this choice is in this challenge position. But like I said, it looks like both choices so far look pretty good. All right, Two of Swords. We have the Seven of Swords. And the Queen of Cups. The High Priestess. We're getting the Ten of Pentacles. And the Page of Swords. And with the Hanged Man, we're getting the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Wands. Okay, so kind of what I'm getting like right off the bat is that there's a fear here of making a wrong choice. And almost like a fear of trusting your own intuition here. Because, you know, maybe something's come up in the past where you felt like you were following your intuition and then something didn't work out like you thought it was going to. And now you're a little bit more hesitant to trust your intuition. And I would say Queen of Cups could also be seen as some more Pisces energy here. So it'll be interesting to see what the Pisces reading says. Now with this High Priestess at the center, again, it's like, I think part of what's challenging about this decision is whether or not the choice that you make is going to be the most fruitful, right? So like this Page of Swords is doing a lot of mental research. So like the Page of Swords, I think of when we're searching the internet and trying to learn everything we can about something so that we have an informed decision. But then again, it's sitting here with that intuition card. And so it's like this battle between head and heart, which again fits in with that staff. Now, I almost feel like this Hanged Man is like the advice, because, and I got that when I was first talking about it, but something about this like Hanged Man, I mean, it could be that you're, you know, kind of putting yourself into a stuck position because you don't want to make a choice. But one of the positive things about the Hanged Man is that she's upside down, so she's getting a different perspective on something. And with the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Wands here, what I feel like this is saying is that waiting around, it's almost like you're waiting, hoping the choice is made for you, or some new piece of information comes in that like finally tips the scales in one direction or another. But what I'm getting from this is that it's like you have to turn your own wheel of fortune here. And the positive comes as a result of you making a confident decision. And so I would pay attention to that in September, Aries, because I think that, at least from what the tarot is saying, there isn't really a wrong choice here. And I think another thing to kind of keep in mind is that if you allow yourself some downtime to tap into some of that internal feminine wisdom, it'll help you quite a bit to go ahead and make this choice. Because I feel the challenge is the choice. And I don't think something is going to come along that suddenly, helps you make that decision. It's going to be when you settle into your feminine, and then it will come through. Because we often try to satisfy the mind, right? We'll research something to death in order to feel comfortable with a choice. So whether that's in love or business, or even starting a new business with these two kings here. All right, so the exciting part, we have the outcome, and we have fruition, and this is the harvest moon, which is quite interesting because the harvest moon falls right around the autumn equinox, I believe. And so you might take a look and see when the harvest moon is happening, because that could very well be when this outcome comes to fruition. But you can see this artwork's really nice. She's like wearing this headdress of, there's like all this abundance, fruit and birds, and there's actually even waves in the background. And so it's almost like she's come through kind of some emotional turmoil, but has come out on the other side with some really positive results here. And the Knight of Cups, the Eight of Wands, and Justice, this looks awesome. So let's get some more detail before I speak to those. But it does look like some movement. It's almost like as soon as you make the choice, it's like full speed ahead towards some sort of fruitful outcome here. Oops. Let's see, why do we have the Knight of Cups? We have the Six of Swords and the Ten of Swords. With the Eight of Wands, we're getting the Emperor and the Queen of Swords. And with Justice, we're getting the Page of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. So I really like that, because I think what it's saying with this Knight of Cups, Six of Swords, and Ten of Swords, it's like as soon as you end your own mental anguish and just make the choice, there's the Knight of Cups again, make the choice from your heart. And as soon as you do that, it's like the stress releases and you start making movements in a positive direction. And what I love here with this Eight of Wands is we have the Emperor and the Queen of Swords. So it's like the minute that you make a choice with the Queen of Swords and take control with that Emperor, it's like full speed ahead. And with Justice here, we have the Page of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. And that's the harvest, right? That Seven of Pentacles, he has been tending these pentacles like they're fruit, right? It almost looks like a grapevine in this deck. And it's like this idea, this inspiration that he had with the Page of Cups, as soon as he started putting in the work, he's got you know, fruits ready to come off the vine. And so with Justice coming through, I really like that, because what it's really talking about is we're tipping the scale, right, in our favor. And so when you put in the work, make the choice, choose from your heart, I think that suddenly all this abundance comes in. I'm going to real quick look to see where that harvest moon falls real super fast. Harvest Moon 2021. It's on September 20th. I love it. So perfect. And that, I believe, is actually in the sign of Pisces. So that'll be the Pisces full moon. So I'm interested to see how this plays out throughout the month of September as we do some updated draws for you, Aries. But this is looking really good. So come back to this reading, you know, as you're entering into September, especially if you get to a spot where you're faced with a decision. And I think this will really kind of help you to, you know, have a little bit of reassurance as to what route to take. So I'm excited to see what comes from this. And I hope that was helpful, Aries. I am going to be dropping some bonus autumn love readings for all the signs, so keep an eye out for those this week. I'll kind of just upload them as I get them finished. So if you're looking for more of a love reading, those will be coming out. And I will see you next time. Bye.